Some people demand titles because titles create power, not love. A child knows the difference instantly. Adults pretend confusion exists, it does not. You can force a word, never loyalty, never trust, never emotional surrender, and that becomes dangerous inside families, especially blended families, especially wounded families. A stranger enters your home slowly, then suddenly. New rules appear overnight. Call him dad, call her mom. Respect this house. But respect cannot survive coercion, it suffocates there. Marcus Aurelius understood something terrifying. Control creates. Rebellion, always, the tighter the grip becomes, the colder the heart grows. And children remember emotional pressure forever, even decades later, because forced affection feels like betrayal, not connection. Imagine being 12 years old. Your real father disappeared years earlier. Or maybe he died. Maybe he failed you completely. Then another man arrives, smiling politely, Suddenly everyone watches your mouth carefully, At dinner, at birthdays. During family photos, one missing word changes everything. Say dad. Why? Because adults feel uncomfortable without symbolic obedience. That is the hidden truth. Many step-parents are not seeking love. They are seeking emotional confirmation. They want reassurance, recognition, authority, validation, and sometimes replacement. But children are not emotional hostages. Epictetus warned against controlling external things, especially other human minds. You own your actions, not another person's heart. Yet families ignore this constantly. They try manufacturing emotional shortcuts. Call her mom immediately. Accept him already. Move on. Move on from what? Loss does not obey calendars. Neither does trust. The first lesson is brutally simple. Separate politeness from surrender. You can remain respectful, without surrendering emotionally, That distinction changes everything. A calm response carries immense power. Not aggression, not rebellion, calmness, especially when pressured publicly. Imagine the scene carefully. A family barbecue. Everyone laughing nervously. Then the step-parent says it loudly. You can call me dad now. The table becomes silent instantly. Everyone waits for your reaction. That moment is psychological warfare disguised as family bonding. Most people panic there. They either explode emotionally or fake compliance. Both choices create damage. The Stoics preferred a third option, controlled truth. You answer calmly, without cruelty. I respect you deeply, but titles take time. Silence follows. Good silence reveals emotional manipulation immediately, because healthy love accepts honesty. Control rejects it. Seneca once wrote about emotional slavery. He believed desperate approval weakens judgment. That applies perfectly inside families. When adults desperately need a title, they stop behaving naturally. Every interaction becomes transactional. I drove you to school. I paid for dinner. I take care of you. And underneath every sentence hides another message. So reward me emotionally. That pressure poisons relationships slowly. Children begin performing emotions artificially. Fake smiles appear. Fake warmth. Fake intimacy. Until resentment quietly replaces authenticity. Modern psychology confirms this repeatedly. Forced emotional bonding increases long-term emotional distance because the nervous system detects coercion immediately, especially children. Children notice emotional dishonesty faster than adults. That is why some homes feel cold forever. Nobody speaks honestly there. Everyone performs family theater instead. The second lesson becomes essential. Never answer emotional pressure. Emotionally. Pressure feeds on reaction. Stay composed instead. The calmer you remain, the weaker manipulation becomes. Wise response sounds almost boring. I'm still adjusting. I appreciate your effort. I need authenticity. Simple words. No attack. No humiliation. Just boundaries. And boundaries terrify controlling people. Why? Because boundaries expose reality. A forced parent-child relationship often hides unresolved insecurity. The adult fears rejection deeply. The child fears replacement deeply. Both people suffer silently, yet nobody admits it openly. Marcus Aurelius faced similar emotional politics constantly. Different setting. Same. Psychology. Roman officials constantly demanded symbolic loyalty. Public gestures mattered enormously. Titles mattered enormously. But Marcus valued internal truth above performance. He understood something timeless. False loyalty destroys trust permanently, and family systems operate similarly today. People crave symbols obsessively. Wedding rings. Last names. Holiday photos. Mother's Day. Posts. But symbols without emotional truth become empty rituals. The third lesson is uncomfortable. Sometimes adults confuse gratitude with obedience. Those are not identical. A step-parent may genuinely sacrifice for you. That matters deeply. It deserves respect. But sacrifice never purchases emotional ownership. Love offered freely becomes beautiful. Love demanded becomes frightening. That distinction matters enormously. Especially for teenagers. Teenagers already battle identity confusion internally. Now imagine adding forced emotional labels. The nervous system resists naturally, not because teenagers are evil, because identity requires autonomy. Every psychologist understands this, yet families ignore it constantly. The more pressure appears, the more resistance grows, then adults become offended, then punishments appear. Then emotional distance hardens permanently. A single word becomes a battlefield. Mom, Dad, tiny sounds, massive emotional consequences. The healthiest step-parents understand patience. They never force titles. Ironically, those people often earn them naturally later because emotional safety creates attachment. Not pressure. Think carefully about that paradox. The people demanding love aggressively. Usually destroy its possibility. The people allowing emotional freedom often receive genuine affection eventually. That is human psychology. Not weakness, not disrespect. Reality. So what should you actually say? The answer is simpler than expected. Truthfully. Calmly. Without cruelty. I care about our relationship, but I need emotional honesty. That sentence protects everyone's dignity. No screaming required. No humiliation required. Just emotional clarity. And clarity feels threatening to manipulative people, because manipulation survives confusion. The fourth lesson may be hardest. Accept misunderstanding peacefully. Some relatives will judge you anyway. They will call you ungrateful, cold, disrespectful, difficult. Let them. Most people fear family tension excessively, so they sacrifice honesty for temporary harmony. But suppressed truth always returns later, usually uglier. Stoicism teaches emotional endurance, not emotional performance. You cannot control family opinions completely. You control your response only. That freedom matters enormously. A CILM boundary reveals maturity instantly, especially compared to emotional coercion. And eventually something fascinating happens. Healthy people begin respecting your honesty more because authenticity creates stability. You become predictable, grounded, trustworthy, even when others dislike your answer. And strangely, some step-parents eventually relax afterward. Why? Because honesty removes the exhausting performance. No more fake emotions. No more forced titles. No more emotional negotiations. Just reality. Maybe one day the title changes naturally. Maybe not. Both outcomes are acceptable because genuine relationships cannot be rushed artificially. Not by guilt, not by pressure. Not by family meetings. Real connection grows slowly, quietly, voluntarily. Like trust always does. So remember this carefully. A mature answer stays calm, not defensive, not cruel, not theatrical, just honest. I respect you, but I need time. That sentence carries more dignity than forced affection ever could. And deep down, everyone knows it, even the people pretending otherwise. If this message disturbed you slightly, good. Truth usually does. Subscribe if you value psychological discipline over emotional theater. And comment something honest below. Have you ever been pressured into fake emotional loyalty?